colleagues far and wide. I thank you for joining us here today. My name is Andre Gooden, and we welcome you to the launch of the Caribbean Securities Trader course. Before we begin, as is customary at the Jamaica Stock Exchange, we will begin with prayer. And I'm going to ask our own Charlene Steer to lead us in prayer.
Good morning. Let us pray. Eternal God, be gracious to us. This morning, we honor you and bring you into remembrance of your word. In Isaiah, you said to us, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish shall bring from afar their silver, their gold unto the name of the Lord our God. So, Heavenly Father, as you have declared by prophet Isaiah, let the foreign commerce of the world favor the capital markets of the Caribbean. Let their gold and silver find their homes in our nation's treasuries. Let the Caribbean stock market leaders be recognized as the most honorable, the most talented in the eyes of the world. Let the same blessings be upon the business leaders and participants at this launch and join in this new certificate program. Let the faculty, the leaders, and staff of the JSE campus be praised for their impartation of excellence. Father, let this program launch today. The Caribbean Securities Traders become the catalyst in answering this prayer and fulfilling your word. Father, thank you for hearing us this morning. Be over this program continually. Watch over your word to perform it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charlene. Thank you very much. Your usual manner, high quality. And we are now blessed. Hence, we can proceed. At the Jamaica Stock Exchange, as we seek to build capacity across the Caribbean community, generally, and particular the financial sector, we really are happy to have our Caribbean partners here with us today. And we look forward to hearing from them shortly. Just a little bit of protocol. We will allow the presenters to make their presentations, and then at the end, we will take some questions, should there be any, from the audience. We have the chat feature engaged, so anyone online who has questions, you are able to do so. You can post your questions throughout the sessions in the chat, and I will address as many of them in the 20 minutes allotted for question and answer immediately after. So without further ado, I would ask the Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, to move the welcome and her opening remarks. Morning, Mrs. Forrest. You're muted, Mrs. Forrest.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome. I'd like to really express my pleasure in welcoming everyone to the launch of the Caribbean Securities Traders and Professional Certificate Program. This is indeed a very good day for us at the Jamaica Stock Exchange and indeed the region. First, I'd like to say special welcome to Mr. Johan F. Evans. He is the chairman of the JSE campus, and also to our colleagues, Mr. Marlon Yard, managing director of the Barbadian Stock Exchange, Miss Eva Mitchell, chief executive officer acting from the Trinidad Stock Exchange, Mr. Jaron Burnett, Senior Manager Operations from the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange, and Mr. Samuel Parks, or Principal of the JSE campus. And just to everyone who is listening virtually, I really would like to say welcome and thank you for making it to this launch. The Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus has been working diligently over the years to bring quality products to the market. It is important, we feel, that we educate the market, whether it is the brokers, the investors, and others, just generally about the capital market, because we feel that this is one area that in which we are going to attain sustainability and growth of our countries within the region. It is not often, though, that with every product we have a launch. But with this product, we felt that it was very important to have this launch. And the reason for this is, as the name suggests, it is the Caribbean Securities Program for the traders. We believe that this is important in terms of the strategy to grow Jamaica, to grow the region. And it will provide that catalyst for greater communication and the deepening of our financial sectors within Jamaica and the Caribbean. We feel that this course will allow for further focus on the broadening and deepening of the Caribbean as a financial destination, where our brokers will be able to provide not just on Jamaica or Barbados or the Eastern Caribbean, but when we speak with one voice. We understand what the other country is doing within the region, and we operate like this. As we move further into, and I notice our brokers are doing that, they are having alliances with Trinidad, Barbados, all the various Caribbean region. Businesses are flourishing back and forth between the region. And for that, as a result of that, even for that, I think our brokers need to know all about how the other brokers, the marketplace, what is offered in the marketplace, how do we react regulatory in the marketplace. All of that is important. So while we do have a Jamaica Securities course, and we do have course that is targeted at our broker, this course is much more inclusive. We look at the Caribbean investment marketplace. We look at equity valuation. We look at the basic economic concepts and working with retail clients. And I think I want to underscore that part, because our clients are all across the region. And too often we tend to look on order taking. But I think with this program in mind and the delivery of this program, it will develop further our brokers in looking at what order making. And by extension, I think it will stimulate more product design, stimulate more product offering, which is what we want if we really are going to be a developed capital market. On the other hand, just to speak about Jamaica, our investor base is growing. We have seen within the last 10 years a move from 2% of our population to somewhere near to 10% of the population who is investing We're not talking about saving. We're talking about investing, which is where the brokers come in the capital markets. What we have found also when we disaggregate, many of these are younger persons, 30s, within their 20s, 30s, who are reading, who are getting excited about the market and are saying, what are the products we have? They are intelligent in terms of what they want to see in the market and what they want to hear from our brokers. It means that we now have a more demanding population. And as a result of that, it is important that in satisfying their demand, that we look towards elevating what we know and keeping ahead of even the investors in order to deliver the best products and services. And believe me, they're not asking about products only from Jamaica. They're asking about products right across the region. We are regional partners. And as a result of that, the Caribbean Securities course for brokers is very important to us. We know that a lot has been put in place to ensure that this is a comprehensive Caribbean course. We know that in Jamaica, we are excited. We also know that just having our colleagues here today from the various exchanges, that they also are very excited about this. We have had the full cooperation and blessings for this course from the Jamaica Securities Dealers Association, and they look at things before they give their endorsement. We also have the approval of this course from the Financial Services Commission, who combed it, looked at it, see what the offerings are, and whether it will satisfy and stimulate the sort of learning outcomes that is necessary. And in our true style, we are working right now on the CPD certification so that, you take this anywhere. You're in the Caribbean, you take this course anywhere. And we are welcoming also, I know we will be having, or probably online at this point, we have the various Securities Commission who we are engaging also to certify, endorse, and accept this program. We know that it will be good for the Caribbean. We know that it will also lend itself. Marlon can tell you, and even Eva, how we have been working on the Caribbean Exchange Network. And I think this is a good gateway towards ensuring that there is the push to get this done. I want to welcome everyone again. I want to say stay tuned for all the various discussions that we will be having today. I think it will be fruitful. It's a Monday morning. It should energize. Again, thank you for attending. Thank you for coming on. And we hope to see that this will further integrate us and to grow the capital market. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Forrest. It is a bright Monday morning in Kingston, and you did just what you promised. You energized us with your presentation, and we hope we have brought some more sunshine to the region if it is cloudy anywhere else in the Caribbean at this time. Thank you very much. We're now going to ask our chairman, Mr. Johan Heaven, chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus Board of Governors, to make his presentation on leading in financial education. Good morning, Mr. Heaven, over to you.
Morning, Andre, thanks much. Morning, everyone. It really is my distinct pleasure as chairman of the Board of Governors of the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus to be here this morning and also to welcome you to the launch of our Caribbean Securities Trader Professional Certificate course. As Mrs. Street Forest has pointed out, the eCampus is known for offering quality professional education and relevant courses for the financial services sector, and also to provide exposure to international best practices with a cohesive and flexible learning environment. And I have no doubt that this course will also live up to the standards that the eCampus is known for. If it's one thing that the COVID pandemic has brought to the fore, is the need for institutions such as the eCampus, which are uniquely positioned to deliver on the educational needs of the financial sector during these times throughout the entire Caribbean. There's no doubt that the world of higher education in general has changed for good. Even before the pandemic, many universities were seeing declines in enrollment for their on-campus based programs and a parallel increase in uptake in their online courses. So with COVID-19, we're seeing where yesterday's disruptors are becoming today's lifeguards. Over the past year, we've seen the challenges that the COVID-19 pandemic has meant to institutions offering higher education. These include things like the disruption of academic programs and research, the financial challenges, and just the general health and well-being of staff and students. Then there are those graduates that have been faced with a constrained labor market due to our poor performing economies that have been aggravated by the pandemic. And unfortunately, these conditions will reverberate long after the pandemic has been contained. A number of universities worldwide are struggling with the transition in this new paradigm. And this is mainly due to their inadequate information technology infrastructure, limited expertise for online teaching and learning methods, and the inability of these institutions to provide computers and data for their students. Notwithstanding these challenges, however, the pandemic has highlighted the need for a hybrid or blended education strategy that's aligned with the country's realities and the current situations that we're faced with. And this is where the eCampus, Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus, is well positioned to take on the challenges of the current environment and to deliver the quality of courses that it has been known for. With the traditional four-year college model in flux, institutions such as the eCampus have the opportunity to shine with its offerings of short-term degree programs that are considerably offered at a lower cost. While in the short term, however, the eCampus will face the same enrollment issues that the four-year universities are facing. When we look towards the future, the eCampus is poised to play a major role in not just providing access to its certificate programs, but also in the upskilling and training of the financial services workforce throughout the Caribbean. So not only has the pandemic as well highlighted the need for institutions to adjust their approach and strategies, but it has also highlighted the need for financial practitioners to use this time to reinvent themselves and reinvent the way we look at financial services. Right across the board, we're seeing futuristic trends already emerging, which have been accelerated by the pandemic. Everybody, the buzzword right now is digital transformation. Digital currencies are on the forefront, artificial intelligence and robotics, and all of these new futuristic trends are happening within the context of remote working. So as online education becomes more normalized and students pivot towards short programs with the goal of a faster return on their investments, alternative credentials like online certificate programs offered at the eCampus will grow in popularity. And this is another way for current professionals and students to upskill in order to meet the demands of a shifting job market, while also fulfilling their educational goals. Interest in these types of programs is already rapidly growing as students and professionals alike grapple with the fallout of the pandemic and how it has shaped career prospects. The eCampus offers a wide range of short-term certificate courses, which now includes this new course, which we're very excited about, the Caribbean Securities Trader Professional Certificate course. Our core offerings in the past have traditionally been driven by our flagship program, which is a postgraduate diploma in financial services. And the postgraduate diploma comprises 14 courses in 3 modules. And each of these courses are taught by reputable lecturers within their respective fields. One of the advantages of the eCampus is that persons can sit any of the 14 individual courses, which all can be completed as short-term postgraduate certificate courses. Some of these courses include quantitative methods, fundamentals of money markets, treasury risk management, credit risk management, all courses along with our other relevant offerings that will provide the opportunity for financial practitioners throughout the Caribbean to upskill and retool, especially during this time, and be able to do this in a very specialized manner. So, we're very excited about our overall offerings and now to include this course that we have here today. So in closing, I'm very pleased that we're able to roll out this very relevant course at this point in time, and really look forward to welcoming a full and engaged cohort for the first sitting of the course. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you very much. Very informative and comprehensive presentation there. And we certainly look forward to bigger things to come. Just reminding the participants, if you have any questions, you can post them in the chat. And if you wish for it to be directed at any one of our presenters, please do so in the chat as well. And at the conclusion of all the presentations, we will field any questions. I will take them from the chat and we can discuss them here. Next on the program, we have Mr. Marlon Yard, Managing Director of the Barbados Stock Exchange. He has been having some challenges, but I see him in the group now, so I believe he should be able to join us. Mr. Yard, if you will unmute now, you may go ahead and welcome.
First, let me thank the Jamaica Stock Exchange and Marlene Street Forest in particular for including me in part of the presenters this morning. I'm not going to be long in my presentation. What I would say is that I support any opportunity for persons in the capital markets to learn and develop their skills in capital market operations and being able to give good and sound advice to persons in the marketplace. I myself am a strong and firm believer in upskilling. I've practiced it throughout my career. I started my career as an accountant, but over the years I've developed skills in law, doing a law degree, and also both bachelor's and master's, and also enhancing my skills in corporate governance through the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators. So I know that to really add value to your profession, you need to continually to upgrade your skills. And I want to endorse fully what the Jamaica Stock Exchange through its board, management, and staff is doing in this eCampus program. I've watched the various programs over the years, and I'm sure that as a result of these developments in your marketplace, these courses in your marketplaces, it has added value to your marketplace and has resulted in the Jamaica market being one of the leading markets in the world by varying standards and varying matrices over the years. So I want to commend Marlene and her team, commend the board for their initiative, and look forward to the continued success in your educational program for your market, and indeed through the Caribbean as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yard. And we certainly look forward to a host of registrants from Barbados when the program starts next week. We're now going to ask Ms. Eva Mitchell, Chief Executive Officer Acting of the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, to make her presentation on growing the Caribbean financial sector. Good morning, Ms. Mitchell.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all our extinguished guests and all other virtual participants. Welcome. Good morning, Marlene, and thank you for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to join you and your esteemed college to present at this Caribbean Securities Trader Professional Certificate virtual launch. So I've been asked to speak this morning on growing the Caribbean financial sector, growing the Caribbean economy, something I'm very, very passionate about. The Caribbean region continues to be adversely impacted by the wide-ranging effects of the pandemic. More specifically, because of our predominantly tourism and commodity-based economies, we continue to be exposed to external shocks and weaker economic conditions. Given the unique and inherent vulnerabilities that impact the region, an integrated Caribbean economy can mitigate the effects of these shocks through enhanced functional policy coordination in the areas such as climate resilience, containing crime, harmonization, regulatory frameworks, coordinating tax policies, and advancing our technical capabilities, all of which can limit harmful competition and reduce the impacts of shocks. The European Union is the best known example of a collective effort to achieve an integrated financial and regional market. And we can learn a great deal from their experience in financial integration. The two major economic benefits I see is economic growth and risk sharing. Firstly, mobilizing the savings of our regional population to finance the growth of our companies, both large and small, will fuel the growth of our countries and promote the development of the Caribbean financial system. This level of integration should enhance regional financial development and will serve to strengthen the region's financial services sector and enhance our global competitiveness. Secondly, by allowing cross-border financing and investment, it facilitates portfolio diversification and thereby the sharing of risks across the countries. Such risk sharing allows income to be insured against country-specific shocks and thus, therefore, consumption and income to be smooth and sustainable over time. And Marlene spoke about this in her presentation. And you know what? We are already seeing a greater level of integration across the regional financial markets. Many institutions have been exploring cross-border opportunities, and many of them are very, very attractive as well. With an estimated $57 billion in investable funds across the region, there is opportunity for us to further scale up the contribution of the financial sector to assist with economic growth and sustainability. However, this can only be done if we address the structural deficiencies of our regional economy, which is the lack of linkages across the various countries. And to do this, we must come together and position our workforce, position our talent pool, and position our financial services so that we meet investor demand by issuing financial products in one country that would allow regional and international investors from other territories to easily benefit. We must also enhance our digital capabilities, and COVID-19 has mobilized the entire world into a more digitalized society and global economy. Therefore, it's imperative for the financial sectors across the region to seamlessly transition to become more technologically driven. If these initiatives are seamless throughout the region, it can allow for greater efficiencies and a more diverse range of products. Through these regional coordinated policies aimed at strengthening institutional and legal frameworks, financial systems in the Caribbean can become more interconnected. And this interconnectivity can lead to economies of scales, technological innovation, all of which lead to a greater resilience and enhance our international presence in the global landscape. We are a resilient region with an attractive talent pool and workforce and attractive financial products. And initiatives such as this one by the Jamaica Stock Exchange will provide the interconnectivity needed and can become the catalyst to allow us to upgrade our skills and scale up the contribution of the financial sector and elevate the profile and capabilities of the region. In closing, I would like to again applaud the Jamaica Stock Exchange for this great initiative and wish the program great success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eva. Happy to have you with us, and thank you for the words. And we share your optimism in the future of the region and the unification of the capital markets in the region. I'm now going to ask Mr. Burnett, Mr. Garon Burnett, Senior Manager Operations of the Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange, to make his contribution. Good morning again, Mr. Burnett. I think you have to unmute.
Okay, great.
And go again. I think you're muted again. There you go.
All right, good. Good morning, everyone. Especially good morning to all the participants and all my fellow presenters. I'm very honored to be here with you today, albeit virtually, and thank the Jamaica Stock Exchange for inviting us at the Eastern Caribbean Securities Exchange to be part of this momentous occasion. Education has a very important role to play in shaping the society that we want to live in here in the Caribbean. We are all aware of as we face these realities in our daily lives, of the need for the Caribbean to become more competitive in order to improve the standard of living within our borders. And to achieve this goal, education must play a fundamental role in any developmental plan that is implemented at national or regional levels. We often hear of the need to improve access to financial services in the Caribbean as being a key factor for rapid and sustained growth in our region. And to make this a reality, one important part of making this a reality is to have qualified financial professionals that are aware of the latest developments in the financial services sector and who actively use this information to develop products and to provide services that meet our needs in the Caribbean. And that makes this the Caribbean Securities Trader program, which we are launching today, a very important development for the future of the securities markets across the region. This program provides an opportunity for finance professionals to enhance their knowledge beyond the minimum regulatory training requirements and gain exposure to information that would increase their knowledge of the regional securities markets. Graduates will be able to provide their clients with a more efficient service and provide much better investment advice, resulting in better investment decisions and increased wealth accumulation across the Caribbean. Within the Eastern Caribbean securities market, we also have regular discussions with our broker-dealer community about continuous professional development. And we try to identify courses that will meet our needs within the region, because we don't want to just find any course online and just give it to our market actors without having, without localizing it so that they can really understand and apply the information that they learn in those courses. We realize the importance of training our professionals and in having trained professionals with information that reflects the reality of investing in the Caribbean. And we are pleased to see that there's now a program that is developed specifically for the Caribbean that will help our region to grow and help our regional markets to grow and enhance the products and services available to investors. This will take us a lot closer to what should be our ultimate goal of becoming more competitive as a region and improving the quality of our lives and our citizens. And as Marley mentioned, bring us closer to regional integration of our securities markets. We at the CSE take this opportunity to commend the Jamaica Stock Exchange and the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus for developing this very timely program, both in terms of its content and the virtual method of delivery, with so many things being done virtually in the current environment. We would also like to encourage persons working in the securities industry across the region to sign up for this program and seize the opportunity to make an investment in your education and in your future. We hope that this program is successful with high levels of participation from professionals across the region, and that we look back on today as a day when we took a decision to invest in the education of regional financial professionals and in a brighter future for the regional securities markets. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Burnett. Certainly share your sentiment that this course will assist our advisors in the region in helping their clients make more informed investment decisions. And we look forward to the Eastern Caribbean participation. And we're hoping for an equitable mix of students in this program from all the territories in the region and maybe outside as well. And we thank you for your participation and look forward to further collaboration. Okay, it now is time to hand over to the principal of the Jamaica Stock Exchange eCampus, Mr. Samuel Parks, who will speak to us about the Caribbean Securities course. Morning, Mr. Parks.
Good morning to all of the invited guests, the presenters. A special welcome this morning. It is indeed a great pleasure to be here introducing our elite Caribbean Securities Trader program. This program has been designed from the ground up. We have designed it to ensure that personnel operating within the wider Caribbean financial services market can be fully equipped to understand the varying nuances, to mitigate the varying risk that are attributable to investing. And the construct of this program has been one to ensure that persons who would successfully complete this program would be fully equipped, not only in being able to give advice, but to make prudent investment decisions for the betterment of the Caribbean territories as a whole. The program consists of 3 core courses. We have FX Trader, we have the Caribbean Securities course, and we have Brokerage Operations Management. Having completed the full array of courses within this program, we expect persons to now have a wider understanding of operating in the varying markets within the Caribbean and the corresponding laws which govern these regions. We also expect that persons would have the foundation that would be required to enable them to acquire jobs within the wider finance and financial services industry within the Caribbean, and to provide in-depth knowledge of investment and the varying products that are offered across the wider Caribbean so that they can make prudent recommendations and make prudent investment decisions. So as we said, 3 courses. The first, FX Trader course, would enable candidates to garner a thorough knowledge of the FX trading market. They would be expected to gain a thorough understanding of the principles as well as the application that are required to be able to navigate the varying risk that we know that is attributable to investing in FX. So once they're able to garner a greater understanding, it will enable them to be able to circumvent, to plan. A key risk that typically face entities, especially when they invest across border, is translation risk. Garnering and understanding how this and other risks can impact you would be pertinent to enable anyone operating in this sphere to be more effective. The core Caribbean Securities course, suitable for first-time investors and persons who have a general interest in the stock market. So we highlight security industry personnel as a core complement of persons who want to do this. But the efficacy of this course enable anyone who sits this course to have a wider understanding and to be able to appreciate the varying class of investments that are available within the Caribbean sphere and enable them now to be able to provide support and advice to clients if they're in the investment advising job function, and also enable them to garner that wider knowledge and skill to deliver on and support clients who are operating in that sphere. But I should add that the Caribbean Securities course, as Mrs. Street Forest has indicated, has been duly approved by the local Financial Services Commission and endorsed by the Jamaica Securities Dealer Association. We have written to the regulators in the other Caribbean jurisdiction, and we are awaiting their approval for the program to enable persons operating within the varying Caribbean sphere if they are needed to give advice. So the brokerage operations, the third course in the program, basically focus on the products and processes in financial services. It analyzes the front, middle office of a security dealer and enable one to have a better understanding as to how to improve operational effectiveness and to establish relationships and engender cooperation and compliance while operating in that sphere. So who are targeted to be a part of this course? As we have indicated before, first-time investors and anyone who have a general interest in the stock market, anyone who have a desire to understand the varying risk, as we have said before, to appreciate the different asset classes so that when they choose to invest, they can do it from an informed basis. When they have to give advice, they can give the best advice according to the current circumstances and what is generally happening in the marketplace at that time. Securities industries personnel are also part of the target audience, and in general, active investors who may simply needs to be refreshed about investment. Now, when we introduced this course, we did a general survey of what's happening out in the marketplace, and we have identified that many of the offerings did not have a Caribbean-centric approach, and the cost was sometimes prohibitive. So we have put this package in place at a price point that we believe is very prudent in the marketplace. And if you are within the Jamaican region, then it's $165,500. And And if you are outside, it's $1,400 US, and it is inclusive of GCT and all of the other attendant charges. We strongly believe in this product that we call the Caribbean Securities Trader Professional Certificate. And it is based on this belief that we have sought to have each course within the program prudently benchmark to international standards. And we believe that once someone actively participates in this program, they would be fully equipped to be able to circumvent the varying nuances in the marketplace. We also intend, as Mrs. Forrest has indicated, to have this prudently certified using the UK CPD certification services, and in the short run, to have it accredited by our local accrediting body, the University Council of Jamaica. So I think now we have an opportunity, as we believe that anyone who complete this course, they would have an enhanced marketability. They'll be able to provide and operate even more efficiently in the sphere, because we construct our programs based on our prudent belief in producing what we like to term desk-ready operands. And that is simply defined as when one completes any program that we offer, they can return to their world of work and operate with a high level of immediacy and enable that entity to be able to garner higher level return on their investment. And also, if they're operating a personal sphere, to be better able and to be fully equipped to operate. So we're looking forward. The interest is very high based on what we have seen coming in to the eCampus. And we have a limited amount that we can start with. So extend your application, send in your application at the earliest to reserve your space. Back to you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much, Principal. Thank you very much. There is a question, two questions, one from Mrs. Forrest and one which I'll ask you to answer. It's asking when will the program begin? And also the schedule. How many days would the student be expected to be in session in the first cohort?
Okay, so the first course in the program begins next Sunday. That is Sunday, March 7th. And that first course, we start off with FX Trader. What we have identified so far based on the interest that is coming in, as I've indicated before, that if you do not reserve your space, then you may have to be asked to sit out until the next offering. So the earlier you apply, the better. The course typically, or each of the three courses are typically offered first offering on a Sunday, one Sunday, and then the other contact time are typically Mondays and Wednesdays from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And all of this is online. Online to ensure that no matter where you are, you can get the material and participate effectively in the course.
Okay, excellent. And the registration information can be had, just direct us to refresh our memory as to where the registration information and for more
So
details.
you can send an email to jseecampus@jamstockex.com, and we'll be typing it in the chat in short order. And I'll be having the team post the link that can take them directly to that page in short order.
And the duration of each course?
Each course is typically 6 to 8 weeks, and we are expecting that within less than 6 months, the whole program can be completed.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Mrs. Forrest, there's a question here for you from Andrew. Do you anticipate more regional cross listings as a benefit of this new program? And if yes, by what measure? And how will this impact the stock exchange community in the Caribbean? That's Andrew Laidley from TVJ, if my memory serves me correct.
Okay, so what we want to do in terms of our vision is that we want for the Caribbean to have one order book, one network where we have one order book where brokers right across the Caribbean can just go in and do their trades, and investors can do likewise. Until we are there, cross-listing will be the easiest method of getting all our people within the Caribbean participating in all the markets. It is important because what we'll have is a bigger footprint. We'll have persons understanding that the Caribbean as a region, its market capitalization, its depth is greater than just of one exchange as against another. So in answer to this question, this is one of the reasons why we did embark on this Caribbean-wide program, because we believe that this will accelerate more cross-listings. Quite recently, I had a talk with one of our sister exchanges, and I didn't have to have that talk with Marlon because I know that is one of the things that we anticipate, that there is a more cross listings within the Caribbean. So I think that this will allow and stimulate our broker members to say, look, why don't we look at deepening the market by having, in the first instance, the cross listings. And I'm hoping, I don't have a time frame on this, but I'm hoping that 2021, 2022 will see a greater push towards more companies listing as a cross listing from Barbados, from the Eastern Caribbean, and from Jamaica. And we're not only talking about, as we talk about the products, we're not only talking about listing of those ordinary shares, but there are products that Eastern Caribbean list now in terms of more debt products. Why can't they be listed on the Trinidad, Barbados, and Jamaica Stock Exchange? And to give a fullness and roundness to the market. And just as our companies in Jamaica listing there, we obviously will work out some of these nuances. And again, just by having the course, many of the questions and the comments and the feedback of persons doing this course will push us to greater integration in terms of our rules, and our structure. And so I anticipate seeing greater listings, greater cross listings, and I anticipate that this will be soon. It is important for small island states as ours to integrate, to cooperate, and to have now the global market looking on to see that, there is depth in our market.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Forrest. Mr. Parks, are you there? There's a question which I think you addressed, but just for clarity, you could mention again. It asks if there are any plans in the future to offer the 3 parts of the course as standalone courses. You could just refresh us.
Sure, of course. Each of the courses in the program would be offered at the individual certificate level. So you can complete each of the course. We constructed and designed the program to ensure that we have an overarching design that will enable one, upon completing it, to be equipped, as I've stated before, to handle the varying nuances that can be expected when you enter this as a security dealer. but also at the personal level where you can garner enhanced benefit, understanding the market nuances, enable yourself to be better equipped to ask your brokerage or your broker pertinent questions. So the whole construct in terms of FX trading, the Caribbean securities, and the brokerage operations was prudently designed to enable all participants to be equipped, and so that when they enter into the financial market, they would have the full body of knowledge to be effective.
Thank you, Principal. We had promised to have everyone back at their desks at work by 11, and we're almost there now. So I'm going to take one more question. You had mentioned it as well. This person, I believe, joined just a little bit late. So if you could refresh us in terms of, remind us in terms of accreditation, where we are now, and if there's a timeline for completion of the full accreditation in the, not just Jamaica, but in the Eastern Caribbean as well.
Of course. So typically for academic programs, in order to attain accreditation, you must have the first cohort graduated, because the accreditation process is so effective that they would assess the program in terms of delivery. They would sometimes send questionnaires to participants to look at the efficacy. And once they have granted that accreditation, then it would speak to the effectiveness of the program, so that anyone who comes after know that they have a program not just of substance, but to enable them to be very effective in the marketplace. So as soon as the first cohort completes, we will be submitting, and I said submit because we have already started the process. We'll be submitting the request for accreditation, and we envision that the process would allow us to attain that accreditation before the next cohort completes.
Thank you very much, Principal. And I'll allow you to close the show with this cookie question that just came in. A Jamaican living in Florida planning to return home and wants to know if she can enroll. First of all, congratulations on your decision to return home. We're happy to have all diaspora members here. So Principal, just remind us about that as well. And also, if you could just give us the contact email and for anyone else who needs further information in closing.
Sure. No matter where you are in the world, there are two requirements that you need to have. Requirement number one, have a reliable internet. Requirement number two, a willingness to learn and to stay on the path of what we like to term continued professional development. If you meet those two requirements, then yes, you can be a part of this program no matter where you're currently located. And I just want to, there was another response that came in terms of, are these courses entirely educational? But I would like to answer it from this perspective. Every program that we offer have been established on two core tenets. Tenet number one, at the point of completing that course, you should have the full array of the theoretical body of knowledge that relates to that program. The second tenet, based on what we said we operate on in terms of our desk readiness, we ensure that personnel who complete this program have been holistically trained with a high level of practical orientation to ensure that upon graduating, receiving that certificate, they are at the top as it relates to garnering the body of knowledge necessary or required through the training program.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. We are very respectful of the time of our participants. And as a result, yes. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know we're trying to be very respectful to the time, but I had to comment on this. the question I unfortunately found out about the program on the weekend, and the closing date for the application is today. So what's the latest date for registration? We operate on what we like to call a rolling application process. So what does that mean? The program starts subject to demand. We can have a follow-up cohort after the first module is completed. What does further explanation? So we start on March 7th with FX Trader. Once FX Trader first offering is completed, we can have another intake that can start with FX Trader. So it's a rolling application process. It's not that you have to wait until next year or whatever, or the end of the program. That is the level of flexibility that we provide here at the JSE campus. And as I said, subject to demand, we have the rolling application process. So send it, don't wait till the next, because the demand is such. Once you reach a class size, then we'll have to say you have to wait to the next rolling application. So if you want to get in early, now is the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And any other questions can be answered by email to JSSE.
No,
JSE campus. JSE campus at jamstockx.com. It's in the chat. JSE campus at jamstockx.com. Thank you to all the participants. Thank you for everyone who participated today, who joined us online. Thank you to our managing director, Mrs. Street Forest, for her message. Thank you to our chairman, Mr. Johan Heaven. Thank you to Mr. Yard, Barbados Stock Exchange Managing Director, Ms. Eva Mitchell, Acting CEO of the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Certainly Mr. Burnett as well, Senior Manager, Eastern Caribbean Stock Exchange, and to you, Principal Parks, for a well laid out presentation. We hope to hear from many more of you during the day and into the week as you seek to register. We thank you for your participation and look forward to a good week and some good sessions. From Jamaica, we thank you very much for joining us and see you soon. Be safe, please.
Thank you.